What is up, guys? We are back.
Back in action after a long time.
We are in front of the camera now,
yep.
Like we used to be. I know we wanted to do that a while back, but a lot has changed, and we are super excited to just talk to you all about the change that's taken place.
Yeah.
And the big news that we are
engaged.
Super excited about. And just what has been up since I think we last visited behind the lens of on the cruise, right? I think that was the last time we did this.
June of 2019, and a lot has happened since then.
A lot has changed.
I mean, my gosh.
As you all know, 2020 has been quite the new start of a decade. Whoo, buddy, have we been in a roller coaster. But we
hope you all are doing well.
Of course.
And staying safe and staying healthy. This is just like a crazy time that we're all living in, which we can all agree to. It hasn't been what we wanted out of 2020, but
say the least. But it's been a really good year still.
Yeah.
We make the best out of it, and that's why that's what we have always done. We've always made the best out of what we can.
Yeah.
And even though there's been some craziness going on in this world, there's a lot that has changed. I mean, we started a business together.
Yep.
Right? That happened.
Awesome.
We're super excited about that. We made a lot of new friends.
Yes.
Like
ton of new friends.
Tons of new friends.
We love new friends.
Oh,
and now we have
so
many.
Now we have so many, and
awesome.
That's been awesome. And they're true, genuine friends. I mean, for example, we met them last year, a little over a year ago, and she has something exciting to share with you in regards to you. Like, these are our new friends, like we said, right? They're our new friends, and now
newer friends. I feel like, so just like some people that we've met throughout the last year, they've been incredible people, and we've just clicked with them so well, so fast. And I think that's like what I always tell people. So the couple we're talking about is our best friends, Kenzie and Scott. They are getting married in less than a month, which is so awesome.
Crazy.
We're recording this on August 1st, so happy
August.
Happy August. Woo! But I mean, they are just the most incredible couple that could have ever came into our lives. We're both gonna be in the wedding in August. I'm the maid of honor, he's a groomsman.
It just goes to show like how you can really go about building incredible relationships.
Yeah.
And but as long as you put yourself out there and put yourself in the right place to be able to build those types of relationships with people. So we've had a blessing coming in our lives. I know 2020 has been quite a crazy year, but for us it's been also a beautiful year, full of discovery, full of new adventures. And
I started a new job in
Oh,
January.
wow.
I mean, like, if you think about it, it's like
everything.
How much has changed just like over a year ago. Like during the cruise, like we had a blast, it was awesome, but like
so much fun.
There's just so much to catch up on, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But in January, I started working as a nanny for a family here in the area, and it's been like the biggest blessing for me, and I say that all the time because I babysat a lot back in high school and in college and everything, but never really thought that I could pursue it as a career necessarily. But you guys know I work for the Penguins as well, so I just needed a little something on the side, and especially during this pandemic, it has saved me. It's been awesome. What else has happened?
I mean, you started a new job, we started a new business. My book is officially done, and it's going to be launched in September.
Is done.
We're excited about that, of course. I mean,
but I think why we're really here.
Yeah, why we're actually here.
We're really here is to talk about this.
Yeah, we're excited to share our engagement with everyone, and
we're excited.
First and foremost, to really thank everyone who has been absolutely incredible, sending us, you know, kind gifts and wishes and
cards. I mean, every comment, like
it was awesome.
FaceTime, photo,
hours on end with people and just talking about.
It's just been awesome.
Yeah. And, you know, it's crazy to talk about our engagement, because I was a guy that this was my biggest fear, you know, and I told you that when we got together. I said, I don't know if I want to get married, and I'm fearful to be a married man just because of the way that I grew up. And if it wasn't for the friends that we talked about and other people that opened my heart up to understand the power of marriage, including your parents. I mean, they're such an awesome example of just what true, genuine happiness has been. Like your aunt, uncle, like your generations, like of just being around her incredible family and just having conversations with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's funny because when we first started dating back in December of 2017, it's funny because, you know, we were pretty open with each other about like everything at that point. I just didn't want to hide anything from him. I'm a very open book in that regard. So prior to us getting together, there was a lot of stuff going on in my life that I just wanted to make sure he knew about, and all that kind of stuff. But what really scared me at first was the fact that he, you know, he told me, like, he's like, I just don't know if I can ever get married. He's like, I come from a family of all divorce. He's like, there's no one in my family that is still together. And for me, on my end, I come from a totally different background. I don't have, as far as I know, like, I don't know, like, everyone in my family is still married. So I've never really been around divorce or anything of that nature. So for me to come in from that background and for him to come in from his, we just kind of clashed. Not clashed, but we just had different views on it.
Yeah.
We didn't really know what was gonna come from it. But I told him that, because he told me, he's like, just give me time, it'll all be fine. So that's what I did. And
yeah, it's awesome, because like ideally, here's the thing that I think that why we are where we are today is because first, she did give me time to heal and to trust and to overcome. But not only that, I think the big thing that you allowed me to have access to was, you know, your family, you know, and that opened my eyes a lot, and to see success or a successful family, to be together and understand, you know, what a marriage is about. And it really helped me just to grow through it and
go into like everything leading up to the proposal.
Of course, yeah. So let's start talking about that a little bit. So first thing, we already had it on our mind, and how this, let's talk about the day that it changed in my heart. I already knew from like day one, when you know, you know. Yeah. And
we always say that. It's so funny, like, you know, everybody has a past. He had a past, I had a past, it's a thing. But we just knew, like, when we immediately, when we first started talking, just the whole thing, even like before we started dating, we just kind of had that, like, when you know feeling. It's like, okay, like, this is my person. Like, I'm gonna see how it goes down the line, but like, I think this is it. For sure.
And it was just like, once I stepped into that, had that feeling, but still too fearful to ask. But you know, into our relationship, and just been such a solid relationship throughout the years. And she asked me a question one day from coming back from church, and she's just basically asked me, like, why wait? Like, when you know, you know, and if it's gonna happen, like, why do we have to keep waiting around for it to happen? Like, you know, and I didn't want you to come up think that I wasn't ready,
right?
Like, or like, you know, I don't want you to question me, because I knew that I was there. I was just a fearful guy.
And a big thing for me, like, I wasn't saying it to like put pressure on him or like anything like that, but I just had,
I think it needed to be said.
It just needed to be said, and I wasn't afraid to say it.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what it came, not in like a weird way, but like, that's honestly, like I said, I'm a very open book. It was a great conversation. But I remember having a conversation with Kenzie, who we talked about earlier, and you know, her and her fiance just got engaged like a month prior to that, and we were just kind of talking like about Tyler and I and our future and stuff, and she kind of sparked that in my mind, and I'm like, that's so true. I'm like, why wait? Like, if you know, you know, like, what's, you know, why wait is honestly what it came down to. And I know we're young, we're 23 and 24, so we are not, you know, we're not super young, but we are still pretty young.
But it puts us in a good place.
Yeah, it puts us in a good place. And I think another thing that I want to touch on too is the fact that, like, we have not only grown our relationship being together, but we've grown ourselves personally and grown together as a couple.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's getting us ready for this next step of our life together, which is marriage, which is the most important part. I think a lot of people, I personally think a lot of people think like people just get engaged to be like, oh, I'm engaged, like, let's have a wedding, let's throw a big party and like all this stuff. And like, I have a piece of hair right here. Okay, there we go. It's like, it's awesome. Like, that's gonna be a huge celebration, which we're so excited for. But what it comes down to is marriage. Like, that is why we're engaged. That's why we are having a wedding. It's because we want to spend our lives together and have that commitment with one another. And
I think, you know, more importantly, what a relationship, like, marriage is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But like, it's really about growing together.
Absolutely.
And we just realized that we're a good we have a good partnership. Like, we have a good friendship, we have a good relationship, and like, and that's because we've grown together, right? Ultimately, we're reading the same books, we are doing the same habits, having the same lifestyle, we're chasing the same goal, you know, and we want the same type of lifestyle together. And it's like, who better than being with someone who we just truly connect and understand each other. So it just turned out to be awesome. We're excited for that journey to continue on and forever to come.
I think it was on Valentine's Day. We were in here, and you were like, I think I'm ready. Remember that?
I might.
Oh.
Let's see.
Maybe you don't.
So,
but I think that was the day that you were like, I think 2020 is going to be the year that we get engaged.
Yeah, whether it was Valentine's Day or whenever, I mean,
I think it was.
It was. I know there was a conversation that was being held, and I definitely expressed my like truth to her, which is like, I think I'm ready, because why not now, you know? And after like being a guy and just really thinking about what I want, who I want to be with, like, because I also don't want to get in a relationship to where if I can't see a future with her, like there's no way that I'm going to put a ring on it. So you know, the heartbreak would be hard, but you know, I know she would deserve the truth. So I spent some time asking myself a lot of questions, and like, do I actually see a future? Is it with her? Like, this is no time to kid around, because I'm ready for this, I think. So I expressed that to her, and I knew I wanted it to be in 2020, just because I kept thinking like, why wait? I didn't understand that. I didn't understand why I should wait. Besides, you know, hiding from my fear is not going to allow me to face my fear, and not being allowed to face my fear, I would never propose. So we had a really good conversation, and she started getting excited about the whole, you know, oh boy, this is what I've been waiting for my entire life, and whatnot. So yep, I was just gonna say, as time continued on, you know, February, March, April started coming around.
Before that, so I remember talking to Kenzie and Scott, like they told us that they went ring shopping before they got engaged. And for me, I'm like, oh no, like I don't want to do that. I'm like, I can give you a picture of something that I think that I might want, but you know, I'm gonna let you do your thing, right? And it was so funny because Kenzie and Scott were like, you know, you guys need to just go together. There's so many options. Like there's so much that goes into picking your ring and all of that kind of stuff that I thought I knew everything, but I'm like, whoa. Until we went, I'm like, I'm glad that I did. But that kind of brings me to the point of like, I think it was kind of end of February, early March, we went ring shopping, and that was fun.
Yeah, that was a good time. I mean, no, it was. But it was right before COVID hit.
Right before.
And like so yeah. I was already planning on like, you know, once we figured out ring shopping, but COVID put us on a halt. And I was like, okay, well maybe not 2020, because I don't know how long this is gonna last, as everyone knows.
But what I wanted to touch on really quick before we go any further was when we did go ring shopping, it was just funny to like, I thought I knew what I wanted, which I did, but I wanted to make sure I tried on like everything, because I didn't want to not try something on and then like regret what we ended up picking and everything. But you know, we went on a couple appointments
around the city, and we ended up going with this really great jeweler here in Pittsburgh, which we were so blessed to for sure.
To have gone there. And
it was awesome. Just
I mean,
people.
The people that we worked with had so much knowledge. Like I did not know there was so much that went into just a diamond in general. What diamond to pick? How do you pick it? There's cut, like the 4 C's. Like there was all this stuff that we just like didn't really know about. But the people that we worked with were incredible. They had so much knowledge. The girl that we worked with was actually certified, like she graduated from like the Diamond University or something, I think. But it was just a really awesome experience. But once we had a few appointments there, and it was time to pick out the diamond, I told him like, you're on your own. I picked out the setting that I knew I loved, and he liked it too, which I wanted you to like it as well. But once we got that done and taken care of, I was like, okay, I don't want any more part of this. It's all on you, and I don't want to know anything else.
Yeah, so I mean, ideally, I mean, we went in together and just looked for like, you know, the cut or the ring and like kind of what the setting was going to be like and what she wanted. I thought that's important. Yeah. Because if it's going to be something that's forever, of course, I want to make sure that she likes it forever and doesn't like look down at it and be like, oh, I wish I had something a little bit different. Like ultimately I thought that was a really good idea, but after picking out the diamond was basically up to me. She got the setting, I picked out the ring, or the diamond itself, and had a good experience there with Abby, and it was just awesome to just went through that journey and feel very special and understand the significance of what it meant. And
but I will say, before we go into like how it happened and everything, our friends are getting married at the end of August, and I just had it in the back of my mind because I remember I told him, I was like, I definitely want to be engaged prior to our friends getting married, because I just think we're both in the wedding. I think it'd be super special to just, you know, be a part of their wedding, be a part of their day, and know that that is, you know, coming for us.
So here's the thing. So ideally, I asked, like, she kept asking questions once we went ring shopping and just trying to get all the information that she could, and I was just like, listen, we're done talking about this, like, but if what are your 2 days that you think that I would do it, and if you nail it, I will let you know. I knew she wasn't gonna guess it because I didn't give her any hints, but ideally, she said either like, she had a date that she was hoping it was gonna take place, and then she had a date where she thought it was actually gonna take place, and the date that she was hoping was before the wedding, and the day that she thought it was gonna be placed, she said, knowing you, it's gonna be December 31st of 2020. So the last day of
because he's like, 2020, it's gonna happen. I'm like, oh,
yeah, probably at the end.
We'll wait till December.
Yeah,
like,
so
knowing him.
It wasn't that, and I mean, you know, it was in June, and
June 26th.
June 26th, end of June. I mean, it was as soon as I had I'm glad I bought the ring when I did, because man, when I had the ring, I had this thing tucked behind in my closet, behind my shoe rack, tucked underneath a blanket in a cardboard box, so that I wouldn't like be presented with the opportunity. Because as soon as you have the ring, it's just like hard to like. I was thinking about just proposing to her in the hallway. I'm like, this would be, you know what, this is it, like this is the time. But I'm like, no one's there to film or take pictures. So anyway, I'm like, but throughout that entire week that I had the ring, leading up to it, I really spent a lot of time like meditating on the ring, I guess you could say, ideally, which was it was just basically me understanding the significance of what this meant. Because I don't know, you can really just kind of like toss things and not really feel things, and you know what you're doing, but you really don't feel what you're doing, right? And so I spent a week just basically with the ring and understanding like what this meant for us, for her, for me, who I wanted to become. You know, when I give this ring to her, what kind of man do I want to be? What kind of eventual father do I want to be? What type of conversations do I want to have? Like, you know, God, will you be here with me to help me through these times? Because, you know, this is something that I never thought I was going to do. You know, and just had a lot of, it was a good experience, and highly recommend you as a guy understand the significance of what you're about to do. And you know, I thought it was funny because all my friends were like, dude, yeah, like one girl, you know, like rest of your life, dude, like, well, you're 24. But those weren't they were my friends, but they're not people that I always listened to. And you know, I always grew up with the idea of like, okay, once I give myself away, that's it, I'm locked down, right? And this whole like concept here. The day that it happened, the best feeling that I think I felt, besides a true love and appreciation for you, was liberation and freedom. Like, I'm like, I found my person, and I'm like, I feel so free with you, you know, and it felt so amazing. And it wasn't anything what people thought,
right?
You know, so it was absolutely awesome to experience that, like that true liberation, and like I found my person. She understands that she's my person and I'm her person, and I'm not going anywhere, you know. So spending that week of just meditating on that ring and understanding it and looking at it and putting myself in the idea of like what I was about to do was really good, really important for me leading up. Then we can start talking about the day. It was on Friday.
So let's talk. I don't know. I'm sorry for like kind of all over the place. There's just like a lot to cover.
Well, yeah, we didn't have anything game planned.
We had nothing game
just wanted
planned,
to talk about the engagement.
Yeah.
And kind of catch you guys up.
So sorry for a little bit everywhere.
Yeah, so this is how I went about doing this.
Yeah.
I'll explain it.
Yeah, because I knew what happened. Yeah. I know now, but,
but ideally,
prior I had no idea.
The goal is to take our friends Scott and Kenzie. I was game planning with it through the whole entire month. I was like, guys, what can I do? I already figured out what I could do, but they said I wanted them to be there, and you know, I said this would be an awesome opportunity. Let's go out on this Friday, you know, and I planted a seed in her mind a week or two before, and I said, babe, we haven't been down at the point since the point that we met. Like from the time that the first place we met was the point. So anyway, I told them to text us just very casually, hey, we want a time to go out with you guys, just hang out, you know, and you know, I said, babe, let's take some pictures. We can go down to the point, grab some pictures. Let's look really nice, and like paint a picture of success when we take these pictures and hang them up on our wall. So look good. I'll look good, and we dressed up, and I mean, you looked absolutely phenomenal, and it was awesome to just be in that moment. But ultimately, I told Kenzie and Scott to text us, hey, let's go out to eat, let's go down to the point, grab some photos, and they did their part, and then Friday came around.
Okay, so I did, for like the slightest second, think something may happen. Just because I did think, I'm like, okay, we're going to the point and we're going to the Cheesecake Factory, which is exactly what we did on our first date. We went to the point and we went to the Cheesecake Factory and it was great. Awesome, right? So I'm thinking to myself, oh, like that would be a perfect idea. Like, but he's not gonna know. Like, he won't pick up on that.
I wouldn't know what.
I'm like, he won't even pick up on
She didn't even know.
I still didn't know. I still didn't know, which is so funny because I thought that it was gonna go right over his head. He would have no clue. Lo and behold. It was funny.
So a game plan I mapped out, like, so we had Kenzie and Scott there. We also had Zane and Tara there, our really good friends. When I moved down to Pittsburgh, the first couple that we met, she introduced me to was Zane and Tara.
Yeah. Tara and I have been best friends since we were children. I told him that I didn't want a ton of people there. I wanted it to be a little bit more intimate for us. But I said if there was anybody there, I would want Kenzie and Scott to be there, and Tara and Zane.
And you know the crazy part? I never remember her telling me that, so I'm glad I did.
Interesting.
Yeah, here's what I remember.
Yeah.
Before the game plan was that you just wanted it to be kind of intimate, but obviously like special, and that's all I remember. I didn't know. And then Kenzie was the one who told me that you wanted a photographer or a videographer there to record something.
Yes.
And I was like, and that was Thursday prior to Friday of me trying to get this.
On Thursday?
I think so, or it was like the beginning of the week or something like that. She told me.
When you're a girl, you're used to tell your best friend all the things you want to happen when you get engaged.
So I had no idea. I had to plan it all out. I was like, oh man, this is a lot. Like, this is crazy. But so we invited Zane and Tara. I invited Zane and Tara.
I didn't know.
Yeah, and Kenzie and Scott. So ideally, we drove down to the point. We're walking there. I was texting Zane, telling him like, so I won't be able to like describe this initially because you have to see the map and understand where the point is and how it looks. For those who are not Pittsburghers, you wouldn't really maybe understand. But anyway, I had this whole game plan on where we were gonna walk, how we were gonna get there, where Zane and Tara needed to be. So by the time I got to the point, at the edge of the point where the two rivers meet and become one, I wanted them to come over and start filming us. She had no idea, but here's the thing. I
knew Kenzie and Scott were gonna be there because you went with them.
Yeah.
But I did not know Tara and Zane were gonna be there.
Right, so we were taking pictures, and I was leading up at each picture being taken. I started sweating, I was like getting nervous. I was like, oh geez, like this is crazy.
Well, because he brought his suit jacket with him. He was holding it, which is after the fact, which is where he had the ring. Yeah. Because if I put it in my pocket, you would have seen it, I would have known. I'm like, smart man. So he didn't wear his suit jacket till we got to the point where we
Yeah, so I told Zane and Tara, once I put on my jacket, understand like you guys need to start rushing over because the next picture I'm then going to propose. So anyway, we got to the point, we started walking, and then Kenzie thought it was a great idea to go a way that I wasn't planning on going. It was miscommunication on my end, not her fault. I was just kind of like, this is what I always did, was walk down the center to the point.
We always walked center.
Yeah, this was the first time we ever went around.
We went around, and Kenzie was in heels, and she was like, no, I don't want to walk through the grass. I want to go through this like little trail, like this little like green path. And we're like, okay, we'll go that way.
I was like, Then I started sweating because
He's
Zane
like,
and Tara is on the green path waiting for us to come down, and I knew if she saw Zane and Tara, she'd know it's time, right? So I was texting them, sweating, like I just watched them sprint across the point. Fortunately, she didn't.
I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't have seen them anyway.
Yeah, so it was awesome because they didn't get beat. They didn't see her.
But yeah, I didn't see them.
Vice versa. Yeah. So anyway, we're taking a couple pictures, and as we approached the point, I started waving in Zane and Tara, and lo and behold, you know,
you just took pictures.
Took a bunch of pictures. I put on my jacket, and I was like, we were basically like this.
Yeah.
She's always on my left, all the time. All of our look at our pictures. She's always on the left. She doesn't want to be on the right.
If you know you have a good side, why would you go on the other?
Yeah. Okay. Anywho, so as they were approaching, I was waving them in, and it was such a cool, like, if you guys haven't seen the video up on our
I can put a little clip of it in here.
Cool, yeah. So play the video that you created, and like, I basically pulled out a note that I wrote, you know, from my heart, because it was basically called The Point, and I just approached it and said, you know, this is the point where we first met, the point where we basically spent hours on end dreaming about, you know, this very moment, the point where the two rivers meet and become one, and then basically the point where I meet, you know, get to, yeah, I know, I saw that, I was like, okay. Oh boy. Anyway, we'll speed this up, so you guys will see that, read that, listen to that, but it's a really cool moment, and then we got to celebrate, you know, what
was so funny was, like, as soon as it happened, like, as soon as he asked me, he's like, babe, where are we at again? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, we're at the point.
She gave me her little attitude.
Why would you ask me that question? Like, do you not know where we are?
I was like, babe, what is this called again? And she's like, the point?
I'm like, the point? Like, what?
Okay, well, you know, anyway.
Lo and behold, that was like a whole part of like why he asked me that question. Was
to get her attention, pointed at me, so without just like pulling out this, you know, piece of paper and be like, come here. Yeah. You know, so that's why I decided to ask her a dumb question.
And I don't remember.
No, she just started crying.
I don't remember what he said.
As soon as I pulled it out, she just started crying.
As soon as he pulled the paper out, I knew what was going on. Yeah. So I immediately started crying. I'm like, what did you say? Did you ask me to marry you? Did I even say yes? Like, because then everything happened so quick, and then like before I even put the ring on my finger, I saw Tara and Zane, and I started bawling again because I didn't know they were gonna be there, right? And
so it was a really cool experience. Like, wait
awesome.
till you gotta see the video, of course, because that's where you're gonna see the emotion. And we'll put the video in.
The video, so you guys probably just saw that right now.
Transition. And now,
which is awesome.
We took them all, many photos, right?
Lots of photos.
Lots of photos. We had a good time, and
which was awesome.
I loved just the moment that we got to experience together, because I wanted it to be about her and I didn't really want a lot of family around because I didn't want to be bombarded. I just wanted to be caught up in the moment and the emotion of what just took place. And
what was awesome was, obviously Scott and Kenzie were there to take the photos, and then Zane and Tara, you saw, like, they started recording before I even knew that they were around. But it was just awesome because like I did tell Kenzie prior, I'm like, I would love someone to be there to take like pictures and video and everything, but to also know that, you know, our best friends took our photos and our video, just knowing it was them that was there, and they were the ones that, you know, recorded it and took the photos and everything. It's just so much more special, I think, and that just has so much more meaning to it.
For sure, I agree. And so I'm glad everything worked out the way that it did. After we took pictures, we went to
the
Cheesecake Factory, and then after we enjoyed ourselves there, we had a good time.
Yep.
My first time back in a restaurant, so it was cool. One other quick cool thing that I thought was really cool, so the day before the proposal, the fountain came on. So the fountain was not on the entire year until the day before I decided to propose. So that was pretty cool.
Because I remember I sent him a photo on Instagram of I think it was a news station here in Pittsburgh that put it on their feed, and I sent him, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is perfect, like the day before we go, like our pictures are gonna be great,
yes.
like this is, lo and behold, he's like, oh, this is nice, like fantastic, didn't even know it was off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we went to the Cheesecake Factory with everybody, enjoyed our time there, and then afterwards we went back to my house because my parents obviously knew it was happening, and they had a cake for us and gifts and card and
just a good welcoming spirit, you know, and just got it was just awesome. It was awesome. Your brother came in from work, and
you had no idea.
He was excited, and so like it was a really cool experience, and now we're excited to, you know, continuously share this adventure with you guys and journey and just life. And
very excited.
I definitely love recording these, and it's not necessally for you guys, it's just for us to like just look back on.
Have memories to look back on. We're super big on photo and video memories. All the photos and the videos and stuff that we take, like they're really more for us. They're just for personal memories. Because I think I even mentioned this in another video, like way back when, but like all I know when I grew up was that my family was always filming. Like they were always taking photos, recording videos, and I have those forever. Like they're not going anywhere. So I just knew when we started to date, and you know, now that we're like officially starting our lives together, I just know this kind of stuff is super important to us, and it'll always just be fun to look back on. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to follow our journey, not only on video, but also on audio, check out the Ultimate Human Connect podcast. Yeah, so he's actually recording the podcast right now. We're filming this as well, so. And it's just an important place for me to share my thoughts and wisdom on how to, you know, basically build a powerful and loving relationship with yourself, others, and God. And she's definitely going to be on there a lot more as we continue on. We have a really cool podcast that we want to do a journey together with. We won't share that yet and what we're calling it, but we're excited. Yeah, we're excited to start that journey as well and create just a fun group of people who are looking, you know, we're going to relate with a lot of young people who are ready to get their lives started and on the right track, and just share our journey and our story, and, you know, maybe a little bit of advice on what we're doing, what's going well, what's not, and then everything in between. So I'm excited for that, guys, and thank you. Thanks for watching and spending some time with us to catch up on. It's okay. Yeah, just to catch up on what we're doing, what's going on, the engagement, which is why we are on here again, and we thank you all. Thanks to everyone that has reached out to us and wished us well, and many blessings to every single one of you. Just super excited for this next chapter together, and sorry if this video was a little long. We figured it was going to be a little lengthy because we both like to talk and interrupt each other. Of course, all the time. Okay. We both just get so excited that like we're like, oh no wait, I need to say something. No wait, you need to say something. Yeah, she'll go like this. You'll probably see it in the video, and then I'll just. I've learned, so it's like I'm not trying. Yeah, it's like we have a happy balance. Yeah, it's good. It's fun. But as always, you should probably subscribe to our channel, or my channel. It's kind of ours now, but we'll just keep it to that. But we're gonna try to just continue to maybe vlog our life a little bit more, especially now with like wedding planning coming up and all that kind of stuff. I think it'll be fun to just like capture that on video and whatnot too. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, go follow Tyler on his podcast. It's going to be awesome. Our podcast is coming soon. We have a great title. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so much fun. Ultimately, we just hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe during these crazy times. And we will talk to you guys soon. Bye.